Zdravím vás, Maldru, dalšího pokračování Vampyra. V dnešní díle jsme se konečně dostali ke smutnému svědci, alias Seanu Hamptonovi. A my to tady teď malinko prolezem, prokecáme s něma. Myslím, že se tady nacházelo pár postaviček. Ale ještě tady máme menší vedlejší úkol. Právě tady se nachází od Ichabora Tormongtona ty jeho plakáty, který máme vyvěsit. Takže je vemem. Máme zde aktualizaci. A co s tím teďka? Buď to je vylepíme v East Endu, anebo je všechny spálíme. metrů. Voilà, protiupíří plakát. Spálíme je. Protože když to vylepíme, tak by po nás akorát ti upíři víc, teda lovci upíru víc šli. Z toho důvodu, že by prostě bylo víc lovců v ulicích. Což jako ve výsledku nevadí. Aspoň máte expy a crafting materiály, ale zase si to nemusíme tak nějak moc komplikovat, že jo? Tak, pobereme tady nějaký drobásky. A ještě tady bylo něco vlastně. Původ skalů. Já to tady chvilinku nechám, teď to posunu dolů. Vy si to můžete pročíst. A já se teda vrhnu na NPCčka, která tady jsou. Kufříček. No, já jsem se nestratil, ale co ty?
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed. Do you need any help?
Rest assured, I will help you, sir. Martin Nightingale, at your service. Please, take a look at my wares.
Your merchandise. I don't really see anything worth having. No offense.
None taken, sir. But please, I need to eat. Perhaps if you keep looking, you'd see something that takes your fancy.
Uvidíme.
Let me be frank. You're as much of a businessman as I am a werewolf, right?
Who the hell are you to question me? It's hard enough to stay clean when you don't have a place to sleep. I'm doing my best here.
I meant no offense, Mr. Nightingale. I was merely pointing out the fact that you're unlikely to survive long if you continue wandering this path.
And what should I do then, sir? Should I join the wet boot boys like so many others? No thanks. I'd rather be a bad seller than a dead gang member.
Chytrej kluk. Martin si vybral život mizerného obchodníka místo gangstra. Ale je zdravej, zdá se.
What can you tell me about the neighborhood? Have you got any friends around these parts?
Not really. Miss Gillingham smiles and says kind words, but I know she's lost her marbles, especially since her son died.
Tell me about this crazy woman. Madness is often mistaken for other conditions.
The poor woman's mad, all right. Kind and all, but she has so much trouble remembering things. She's taken me for a son more than once.
Enid si občas plete Martina Nightingala se svým synem Jackem. Enid Gillinghamová si občas Martina plete se svým synem Jackem.
How interesting. I don't suppose you know what happened to her son.
Jack! Rumor has it he tried to tackle some gang lads. I didn't know him well, but I heard he was a nice enough chap. His old ma still thinks he's around.
Why not try seeking help instead of peddling your wares? I'm sure there are people around here that would gladly help.
There's always the night asylum. I heard it's run by a very nice man, but I'm no beggar. Not yet, at least.
There is no shame in asking for help, my boy. Sometimes it can even be the best course of action.
I don't feel okay with that. I'm gonna make a name for myself, and I'll do it by myself.
I'm looking for Sean Hampton. Can you help me?
He's a caretaker for the poor, is he not?
Something like that, yes.
Sorry, I don't know where he is.
Jo, mám tady hodinky nějaký. To se ještě podívám. Jo, přineste je zpět příbuzným, anebo je prodejte někomu jinému. A to bych vlastně mohl tady kupčíkovi.
Good evening. No... Goodbye.
Ťuky ťuk.
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. May I come in?
I already took my medication, Doctor. But thank you.
I'm sorry. Your medication? Have we met before?
Don't tease me like that, Jack. Sorry, what?
I think I should come in, miss. I'd like to check if everything is okay, what with the epidemic spreading across London.
An epidemic, you say? How terrible. I had no idea. But where are my manners? Please do come in, Doctor. You are a doctor, yes?
Správně by tam neměl líst vůbec, že jo, když je epidemie, ale tak jako OK. On je upír, tak toho asi moc jako nepřenese na ty lidi. Jelikož by vůči nemocem měl být imunní. Tak, to tady pěkně prošacujem. Nějaký bedinky, šilinky. Všelijaký dobrůdky, to je vončo, dej to sem.
It's locked.
A tady je to zamčený, to bych ji musel vysát. Ale to mi nechce.
So, Dr. Tippett, what brings you back here? I heard whispers you had a job at that fancy hospital.
I told you my name is Jonathan Reed. Don't you remember?
Of course I do. I remember my name too. Gillingham. But you may call me Enid, Doctor. I'm very happy to see you again.
What can you tell me about this part of town?
Oh no, I don't gossip. That would be most unbecoming of a lady such as myself.
Who are the more influential figures on the docks?
Well, I heard about some terrible illness going around. I would say in that case that it's you, Dr. Tippett.
Is anyone taking care of you, Miss Gillingham?
My son is always here to take care of me. He's a good boy like that, but I do worry that he needs to start living his own life. Why, I would never say that to him, of course.
Enid, have you really no idea what happened to your son? No idea at all?
I've not seen Jack for so long. I lose track of time. Has something bad happened to him?
Jack is dead, Miss Gillingham.
Of course he's not. I've seen him. Tonight, in fact. Ever the joker, Dr. Tippett.
To asi nepřijme. OK.
I'm looking for a Sean Hampton. Do you know where I might find him?
Sean Hampton, you say? Oh, the name does seem vaguely familiar, but alas, I cannot recall from where.
I found this watch. It was a gift from you to your boy, wasn't it? I think it should return to you now.
Oh, I remember. Yes, I recall the day I offered Jack this watch. Oh, it was such a beautiful day. Thank you, sir.
Trinkets and possessions help us remember our past. Promise me you'll not lose it.
I would never lose anything that belonged to Jack. Why don't you take this? Dr. Tippett? Please, for your charity.
Vyšetřování úspěšné. Další zavražděná oběť. A pak už potřebuju jen další zjištění. Má bolest hlavy. Tak to rychle ještě napravíme.
Do you require medical
I'm glad you asked, Dr. Tippett. I must confess I haven't felt that well of late.
Vyžaduje lék na bolest hlavy a nemám.
I'll see you later. Goodbye.
Jo, já možná ještě nemám objeveno. Tak to jo. Hol, to bude muset vydržet, holka. A co ty tady běháš? Jo, to jsou vyloženě ti strážci. Takže oni sem klidně můžou vlízt, jo. Zajímavé. Rodny, zrovna jsem se dozvěděl, co se večer stalo. Běžel jsem k tobě domů, ale už si byl pryč, tak ti aspoň píšu tenhle vzkaz. Fakt je pravda, že si ho zabil, tomu nemůžu uvěřit. Proč? Co se stalo? Vážně s tebou potřebuji mluvit. Prosím, až najdeš tenhle vzkaz, i hned se ozvi. Protože vím, jak jsi opatrný. Abych ti dokázal, že se nejedná o pas, tak až se setkáme, použijeme heslo, zapískám v morzevce své jméno Jack a ty zapískáš své OK, tak poznáš, že jsem to vážně a prozatím je dobře, že se schováváš. Holinkáři běhají po celé čtvrti a vyhrožují, že tomu, kdo jednoho z nich zavraždil, se pořádně pomstí. Jsem si jistý, že až se trochu uklidní, tak bychom se mohli někde sejít. Takže nějaký Rodny a hon na schovávanou nové vyšetřování. Vida, jsem úplně přehlíd tenhle dopis. Zkusím ještě prokecat tady frajerku. Jestli o tom něco neví. Neví.
Goodbye.
Tak, jdeme ven.
Good evening. Show me what you have.
Obchod. A tady, frakce upírů a skalů. Pokud chcete mít všechny tyhle ty věci, tak je potřeba, abyste si to koupili. Ty sběratelský, a pak je tady hrací skříňka s dopisem. To je taky dobrý koupit. Protože vám to, nevím co, možná vám to dá nějakou aktualizaci questu nebo nový zjištění. Počkat, já potřebuji semka, úkolovky. Tak, to je ono. Nedokončený dopis máme a hrací skříňka. Můj drahý Jacku, tento dopis píši, neboť mám ještě sílu i vůli. Enid se cítí provinile za svého syna Jacka.
Good evening. Goodbye.
I know I've got something that'll strike your fancy. If not, I'll find you something.
Ten tam jenom sedí. Ale ono tady je nějaký zjištěníčko určitě ohledně těch dvou. Tady teda ale máme dobrutek a všeho. Voilà. Týpka tady zakuchlá přímo v posteli. Docela nemilé. Nábřeží Dolní Temže. Tak fajn. 16kovej skal. To vyloženě, potom netoužím tam teďka jít. Máme teďka na práci jinačí věci. Tak, ten tam furt sedí, tak navštívíme paní Gillinghamovou ještě.
Good evening. Tell me, Enid, why do you feel guilty about your son?
I know I'm a burden to my Jack. I know my mind and my thoughts are drifting away. I'm so sorry. I can't help it.
This is not your doing, Miss Gillingham. You do not have to apologize for your condition.
Of course I don't, Doctor. I've done nothing wrong, I swear it. What exactly are we talking about here?
Goodbye.
Já už jsem se díval, zatím ne, fešáku. Prašule ode mě máš, tak s něma nalož, jak uznáš za vhodné. A já pokračuju tady do útulku.
It's locked, all right.
Your kind's not welcome here, sir.
Vida, tady máme nějaký skříňky. Pěkný, pěkný, pěkný. Tak to poberem. Malinko se tady porozhlídnu. Tak, šéfová.
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. May I have your attention for a minute?
Good evening, sir. My name is Giselle Paxton, but I don't have time for men like you.
Have we met before?
No, but I just need to look at your fancy clothes to know that you must be desperate to visit the docks at night.
That's quite judgmental of you.
Sir, I've led enough strikes when I had a job to identify you as an enemy of the working class.
May I ask what you do for a living?
I'm killing myself scraping for a living. And you? Have you ever had to struggle in your entire life?
As I told you, I'm a doctor. You have to work a lot to earn that title.
Oh, a doctor. Born with money in a nice house, were we? Was Daddy a banker or a doctor himself?
Why such hatred? Are you judging me by my clothes and my job?
Of course I am. Fuck, you're so blind. You don't even see your privilege. Lazy people like you disgust me.
What can you tell me about this vicinity?
Tell you what, just spend a few weeks here, and then ask me that question again. If you're still alive, I mean.
If you have something to say, say it. I'm getting tired of all this.
Oh. You want information instead? Well, here's some for you. Giselle Paxton does not like you at all, Doctor.
You don't know me, Miss Paxton, and yet you see me as an enemy.
Your manners, your clothes, your words tell me everything about you, sir. I know your kind, and you don't belong here.
Oh no, Miss Paxton, you really don't know my kind. You have no idea who I am.
Jo, upír, který tě vysaje.
Okay. No need to get all worked up.
You speak of strikes and class enemy. Am I right to assume you're involved in trade union activism?
You bet I am. Well, I was. Nowadays, I'm just another worker blacklisted by the big companies.
You lost your job because of your beliefs.
Those bastards really hate a worker who refuses slave wages and unsafe conditions, especially when it's a woman.
Isn't the whole point of trade unions to help workers in need? Why don't they support you?
A few nights back, I lost the money my companions had asked me to hide. With me and my sister being penniless, they thought I stole it.
What really happened?
I drank too much that night.
Giselle přišla o peníze obchodní unie, ke které patřila. Nepříjemné.
Strange men saw me count the money in that bar. Some sort of militia in uniform. I'm sure they robbed me.
Nové vyšetřování. Ty úkoly se nám tady rojí jak houby po dešti.
I'm looking for Sean Hampton. Can you help me?
What is it you want? Does he owe you money? Has he displeased your Royal Highness? I'm no snitch, Mr. Fancy Pants.
No tak od ty se nic
I'll leave
nedovíme.
you for now. Goodbye, Miss Paxton.
Ještě tady máme nějakou další osobu.
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. Can I help you?
A fancy doctor lurking at night by the docks? Not fishy at all.
And what about you? Working outside at night in this dangerous part of town?
You want to know my secret? I'm trying to earn money. And I'm Lottie Paxton, by the way.
Is it not dangerous to work here at night?
As long as I have good legs, I can run away from trouble. The sad saint now provides me and my sister a bed and a roof. I don't want to lose that.
Are you homeless, Miss Paxton?
Mr. Hampton's night asylum is our new home now. It's a safe place for me and my sister.
What can you tell me about the Sad Saint?
It's just the nickname of Sean Hampton, the sad saint of the East End. He gave me shelter, and he's not always sad.
What can you tell me about this place? How are things here?
It may be okay for a strong girl like me, but a dandy doctor from the city like yourself, you better watch your back, Mr. Reed.
You really think I should go back to a safer place, Miss?
No. I think you had better stay and help as many people as you can. Just avoid the wet boot boys. Those bastards are worse than the epidemic.
Which local dangers must I avoid?
Well, the gangs, the thieves, the drunks, the jobless. A man with your fancy clothes will attract a lot of attention.
Well, I am not someone so easily intimidated.
Glad to hear that. And if you get into trouble, you can always seek help at Sean Hampton's shelter. No one would dare to be violent there.
Samá zjištění.
I'm looking for Sean Hampton. Can you help me?
Mr. Hampton must be in his office at the night asylum he manages, I suppose. Why do you want to see him?
He was a patient of mine at the Pembroke Hospital, but he left abruptly.
I see. Well, Mr. Hampton is a discreet and dedicated man. I'm sure you'll find him soon enough.
Goodbye, Miss Paxton.
Tak, paní Paxtonová byla tahle ta příjemnější.
Everything right, Mum?
Ručně psaná modlitba. Proč mi to nenaskočilo? Tak si to otevřeme sami. Drahý pane, tímto se modlím za svou milovanou matku Gertrudu Paxtonovou, která čeká na své dcery v nebesích. Až do toho dne ti budu stále děkovat, že mi pomáháš projít tu každodenní chudobou a skromností. Prosím, ochraň mě také toho hodného pana Hamptona, který mě nechá přespát ve svém nočním útulku. Pokorně tě žádám o odpuštění na zášť, kterou chovám ke své sestře Giselle od doby, kdy matka zemřela, požehnej jí duši. Děkuji ti, že jsi mě vyslyšel, o bože, amen. Lottie a její sestra Giselle Paxtonová jsou od smrti jejich matky bezdomova a chudé. Jsou od smrti, jasně, to je to stejný. Teď si říkám, co se týče těch sester Paxtonových, hra na schovávanou. Ne, to zatím nechci. Jak jsou na tom se zdravím? Dobře. Tak to tady tak nějak projdem a polutíme. Co to jen tak půjde, no. To bude celkem zajímavý. Takže jedna bedínka, tady nic není, tahle bedínka no. Staré noviny. Za úsitu explodovala bomba před muniční továrnou Dawson, největší zaměstnavatelskou firmu v celé čtvrti. Tlaková vlna vyrazila okna ve všech továrnách v severní Southwarku. Je zázrak, že během toho výbuchu zemřeli pouze 2 lidé, potvrdil vrchní superintendent Alexander Brighton. Staré noviny. Tahle skříňka zavřená. A co pak je zde? Co pak je tady dole? V přízemíčku. Jenom bedínka. Tak fajn, jdeme nahoru.
I cannot enter.
Zavřená dvířka, jak jinak. Tady nám blikala popelnice. Za schodama. Slečno Paxtonová, nedávno jsem zaslechl něco o Hamptonově útulku celé měsíce a peníze nebo jakoukoliv podporu, bez vaší souhlasné odpovědi budu, mý chlapci vždy dostanou, co neberu jako odpověď, odmítejte i nadále a holinkáři přijdou. Vás a vaši sestru. Výhružný dopis. Lottie vždy holinkářům odmítala pomoci navzdory jejich výhruškám. Dobré vědět. Ještě projdeme tu pravou stranu. Složený papír. Bože, odpusť mi to, z čeho jsem ti nyní zodpovím. Někdy si přeju, abych Dysona Dylaného nezachránil před utopením. Řekl jsem to. Tak, to si přečtěte, ale je to ohledně Dysona. Dokonce i tak vážný alkoholik jako William Bishop bojoval se svým návykem a žádal o spasu Kristova světla. Takže to je o tom našem alkoholikovi, který je u Toma v baru. Dyson byl zachráněn Seanem Hamptonem po tom, co opilý spadl do kanálu. Dobrá. Máme nějaká nová zjištění, to je fajn. A já to tady malinko projdu. Ale. Tady je nějaká skříň, byla vidět mezera. A tam je nějak hodně moc krve. Tak, pane Hamptone.
Why the long face, Doctor?
Teda ten vypadá, že by skal. Jak se opovažujete, to jediné vás trápí?
It looks like we both have changed a lot. I must confess, it saddens me, Sean.
Put your faith in the Lord, Doctor. He has a plan for all of us. We may not always see it, but he does.
Since you left Pembroke, the amount of blood that has been shed, it's hard to believe you, Sean.
Ask what you will. As the Lord is my shepherd, I will not speak a lie to you.
Aren't you afraid of what you've become?
We are blessed, Doctor. Can't you see it? The Lord has made us able to walk amongst the plague and aid those that need it.
Do you think this is a blessing when God's own house and holy symbols repel you?
If that is your burden, Doctor, so be it. But I do not fear the cross, nor am I forced to take the life of another. My kind doesn't share your imperfections.
Říkám si, protože kříž má na hrudi a vůbec mu to nevadí. Dím se, že mě to nevadí, když stojím takhle před ním.
But you must drink blood now to survive.
No, not your scripture. Whoso eateth my flesh and drinketh my blood hath eternal life, and I will raise him up at the last day. So saith the Lord. I only need to eat flesh, no blood.
Why return here?
This is my home. These people are my flock. You will always find me where I am needed.
Wonders never cease. Scal managing an asylum.
And what of you? A vampire doctor? Meals laid out before you. Yet you restrain?
And what about William Bishop? He tried to take care of you. But this hunger, this thirst, cannot be restrained.
Alas, poor William. He had a good soul, but was weak in spirit. He could not shake the thirst for booze, never mind blood. But have faith. My will is far stronger than his.
Why did you kill Miss Jones at the Pembroke Hospital?
Killed old Harriet? You must be mad, Doctor. Why would I do such a thing?
So you claim Miss Jones' death was not by your hand, nor the other incidents at Pembroke?
Though Harriet was an angry, spiteful woman, she was one of God's creatures. I have nothing but love for all he has made.
But you were close to her.
Of course. But she was lost, separated from the fold. She did not see the hand of the divine in my blessed condition.
People have been murdered. I've seen the blood. I don't believe you can be trusted.
Have a little faith, Doctor. If you will follow, I will guide you to the light.
How do you plan to do that?
Take this key of the old sewers. The entrance is by the riverbank, south from here. There you'll find all the proof you need.
Vida.
I have to see for myself. But your sense of purpose and calm gives me some relief.
I'll be here when you return. If you still think I'm a threat then, well, I'll surrender myself to your judgment.
Špatná pověst, aktualizace mise. Prozkoumejte stoky, objevte tajemství Shona Hamptona, najděte vchod do stok. No a v těch stokách si máme promluvit s nějakým mladíkem. To je další věc. Já ještě vyběhnu hore, pač by tady mohlo něco bejt. Svítí tu šilinky, nějaká bedínka. A jinak tady asi nenajdu nic. Běžím na druhou stranu. Tady je toho ovšem mnohem víc. Ale nic důležitého, úkolového nevadí. Suroviny se vždycky hodí na craft. Ještě bych teda zaběhl za sestrama Paxtonovejma.
Glad to see you again, Mr. Reed.
Lottie, tell me about the Wet Boot Boys. I know they've threatened you.
Edwina Cox wanted me to provide her with information about Mr. Hampton's resources. I refused.
Is that not dangerous?
Fuck them and their lies. They claim they protect the interests of the neighborhood, but they are just greedy parasites like all the rest.
I respect your courage, Miss Paxton, and I hope life will never wear you down.
Dr. Reed, you know how to make a girl blush. I am glad you came to the docks, whatever your real reasons are.
Lottie, tell me about the death of your mother.
Giselle killed her, plain and simple. She killed her with her daily whims, her laziness, and her complaints.
That's quite a statement. You can't kill someone because you're fickle.
Mother was very ill, but I forgave Giselle. What I couldn't stand was how she cried at her funeral like she was the one left alone.
Perhaps your sister is not as tough as you are.
I know that, and I don't blame her. It just makes me sad that my own sister is the person I understand the least.
Giselle is the only family you have left. Don't you think it's time you forgave her?
Sometimes words are harder to forgive than acts, Dr. Reed.
Goodbye.
Zatím všecko.
You again?
Giselle, I know you sleep at Sean Hampton's shelter. What can you tell me about him?
He provided a roof for me and my sister. I am grateful, of course, but he gives me the creeps.
Why is that?
He's always sad, like he's about to cry. He's always asking us to get closer to God, to give ourselves to the Lord. Creepy.
Giselle, tell me about the death of your mother.
After our father died, Mother worked so hard she made herself sick. We spent all the money we had on useless drugs and doctors. It was hell.
Hell? What do you mean?
The three of us were exhausted and desperate. And when I'm desperate, I tend to get angry. And I'm hard to live with. Lottie said I killed Mother.
You should talk to your sister. Whatever happened when your mother died, the truth lies somewhere between your two versions.
I don't want to talk about that. It was years ago. We Paxton sisters are tough. We don't apologize.
Tak to je asi zatím všechno. Vida. Rovnou zjistíme nějaký nový věci. Tak kam pak jdeš, frajerko? Že bys šla tam dolů do těch kanálů? Vydá. Lotý. Tak oni si jdou si dát spicha někde. My bych je mohl sledovat. Tady. Vida.
For Christ's sake, get a grip. Look at yourself.
It's quite hard to do without a mirror. Can I borrow yours? Oh wait, we don't have a house.
Yes, we're poor, but there is work to do. Honest money waiting to be earned.
I had honest work before I was fired by those fascist pigs, remember? So let me drink in peace.
You were fired for the bottle, not for your political opinions. When will you realise that?
Maybe I do drink too much. And maybe it did cost me my job. But the struggle is real, and don't you dare undermine it.
Giselle Paxtonová přišla o peníze a důvodem jejího vyhazovu byl jakýsi svár s její sestrou Lottie Paxtonovou. Vida. Když se podívám na ty úkoly, tak jich je tady fakt hodně. Najděte vykradače hrobů, vraťte se za Tormongtonem, najděte zloděje, který ukradl to, přineste tomu zpět láhev, najděte místo, kde došlo k výbuchu a promluvte si s mladíkem schovávajícím se ve stokách. No. Já bych to pro teď nechal být. Příště bychom si promluvili se sestrama a vydali bychom se dělat ty vedlejší úkoly. Takže pro dnešní díl Vampyra je to všecko. Tímto se s vámi loučím a u dalšího pokračování se budu těšit. Čau.